We are right outside the city of Cartagena. Ian suddenly shouts, "Whoa!"
That's crazy!
City life is intense. I don't think I'm cut out for it. Here we go!
Whoa!
This is amazing! It's all a mirage.
Directions according to Brownie.
We're so lost. You know, hey, it's us, so of course we're gonna try it. Here we go.
Oh yeah, okay, this will be good.
Last time on Red Seas, we set sail from Aruba and made our way across the channel towards South America. We had a great weather window and only touched the sails once as we jibed around the northern cape on the Colombian coast. We had a visit from a huge pod of dolphins who all played around behind our sugar scoops and then settled into a quiet night shift as the winds began to die out. When the sun rose in the morning, we decided it was a spinnaker day, so we put the Genoa away and hoisted the Kraken.
That's crazy!
So we were just putting the spinnaker up and Ian suddenly shouts, "Whoa!" And I start looking around and I'm like, yeah, maybe a whale or a dolphin. And he goes, "Land!" And I was like, well, yeah, obviously. We've been sailing next to land for the last kind of 12 hours or whatever. And he was like, no, look above the cloud. Look at this.
That is crazy. That is the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, which is 13 kilometers high.
Wow.
It's the world's the world's highest coastal mountain range, which is kind of one of those distilled claims on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
When it's sunny.
It's really
if I'm
good.
looking in the right direction. It's one of those claims, but I'll give it to
Still pretty
them.
impressive.
It looks seriously cool. There's like a band of cloud lying underneath it, and then you can just see
yeah.
the snow caps on top of it.
Oh my goodness!
Snow caps in South America.
Snow! We haven't seen that in 3 years.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, okay, this will be good.
You seeing my little friends?
Yeah, but they're really struggling because we suddenly went from what, 5 knots to 7.5, 8. So they're like, keep under the shade, it's sunny outside.
Oh, do you think that's what they're after?
I think it's the shade, yeah. I think this is shelter and safety. Because
Yeah, true.
if they're out in the open, then their silhouette is right there for prey to go for. Whereas if they're under this big floating platform, then they can't get harmed.
Sorry, guys. Do it again, do it again.
So we had a friend, Kirsten, come out and we discovered this game, which is, you can just, whoa! You can just lie people along here and then play the game of who's playing chicken, basically. Who's the last person to lift their head before they get stuck underwater.
It's brilliant when you're downwinding though, because you can't see the waves coming.
You can't predict it, no. It's quite scary. There's hundreds! Whoa! That's crazy! There's more here, they're coming up front.
It's like we're going so fast they can hardly keep up with us. There's loads of them!
At least 26. Wow! That one sneezed on me. Woo! There's hundreds of them. It's so cool because sometimes you see them, they like barrel roll under the water like that one just did. And you can tell they're just playing, they're having so much fun.
Oh my goodness, this is just incredible. But I'm afraid we're gonna have to pause it right there because we actually have a live stream set up with our patrons right now. So we're gonna rush and set that up. And hopefully, patrons, you're gonna get to see these dolphins live before they swim away. But Yeah, we've caught some footage for the rest of you, but yeah. This is amazing! So, what's the plan?
We're dicing back and forth on when to douse the spinnaker. We're trying to get our timing just right for the arrival at that river we've talked about. And if we stay at this speed, we'll get there in less than 7 hours.
Which means dark.
Actually, we'll get there in 6 hours, which means, yeah, it'll be, what is it now? It's 5 o'clock now.
It won't even be midnight yet.
No.
That's far too early.
Yeah, we're going very fast. We've been hitting sort of 10s and 11 knots, which we hadn't been getting before we put the spinnaker up, so I'm enjoying it. But it does mean that I don't want to put it away.
Yeah.
Probably should.
Yeah, it's such a shame when like we've been going so slowly the whole journey, and then we put the spinnaker up and we're like, yay, we're making speed at last! Oh, too much. And there's no way to like slow us down a little bit with that thing, so
no.
It feels such a shame to put it away, but I think it's probably the sensible thing to do.
This is why we need to get our bowsprit sorted.
Yes.
Because then we can have two Genoa situation, and we can have some more control over the speed of that.
Yeah, and the bowsprit itself is done. We just have to figure out the sort of the sail configuration and all the rest of it.
Yeah, the other stuff. Just the other bits and bobs.
Close enough. We'll get there one day.
So until then, I think we're gonna have to douse it.
All right.
Make it sound like it's my idea. I'm backing you up. I don't want to put it away. You do. So I'm speaking a bit quietly because Brian needs to sleep just over there, and it's been quite a long night. It's not been too dramatic. Our biggest issues, that's the battery alarm. Well, as I was saying, we haven't had too many dramas all through the night. Really our biggest problem was that the wind died off on us and we were trying to slow down. So we furled up our headsail and we kept furling the headsail, and eventually we couldn't really do any more than that, and we're still going 8 knots down the waves. Not so great, because we're trying to time our arrival to the entrance of the river that we've been talking about, which is just coming up, and that river's supposed to have all sorts of crazy debris coming out of it. But then this happens, and like I'm supposed to be paying attention for trees and things flying out of a river, and how can you pay attention when you have something like this going on? That is the mountain range, the Sierra Nevada that we talked about. And I hadn't realized, of course, the sun is rising directly behind it. And it's just so welcoming when you've had a long, dark night. But yeah, I need to start paying attention again to where we're going. We're almost going to reach that corner now. The waves have been picking up, of course. They're kind of on our starboard aft quarter. And at times, they're getting really big.
To wake me up when we got to the river because I wanted to see it because I thought it would look cool, but I don't think I needed to ask him to wake me up. Like, the movement of the water here is crazy. It reminds me of Trinidad when we arrived between the Bocas, except on a massive scale, because there it was all, the boat actually moved quite flat, quite straight through the water. It just looked like disturbed and it looked a little bit odd. Here it's like it's a roller coaster. It's crazy. We're like rolling all over the place. These waves are absolutely massive. There's already stuff floating by in the water. I'm just excited to see the big stuff when we get there. I just hope that we don't hit it. Ian's having to like hand steer everything. We've taken autopilot off, and yeah, it's concentration time right now. And now I'm instantly thankful that we spent hours going at 2 knots overnight to slow down so that we got to this bit after sunrise. Can you imagine doing this in the dark?
You can see why people say going west is easy, coming back is hard. I wouldn't want to fight this to go that direction.
I know, imagine trying to go the other way. That would be mental.
Oh. So we haven't seen any of the big stuff yet, but the problem is that all of this small plant life we're seeing, kind of weeds and things, is our engines are raw water cooled. They're cooled by the sea, so they suck in seawater and then pass that through a cooling system. And if we go running over too much of this random weedy stuff,
Oh yeah.
engines overheat, and then we have to go through this with no engines.
Oh no!
Harder to dodge stuff. And we haven't even made it to the yet. We've got like another 40 minutes before we actually get to
Oh really?
and that's when we're supposed to start seeing big things. Although maybe we get lucky today, maybe there's nothing. Maybe.
I'll feel a little bit let down if all we see is weeds. I mean, that would be good, but...
Very good. I'm quite content being let down for that today. Already quite fun deciding whether we can dodge the debris or go with the waves.
Yeah. They are pretty massive.
We'll never work out on camera, but
No.
with the entire boat that's up about 5 meters,
So we're just seeing like a whole ton of these kind of weeds. It's like a hedgerow floating along, all little plants, some bigger logs, but nothing scary yet. I'm almost like disappointed. I was told I was going to see a car floating by or a washing machine or something. I want my washing machine! So we can see something in the water over here that's sort of black and shiny and sticking up out of the water. We're taking bets on what we think it's going to be. I said log. Ian reckons motorbike. So maybe I'll get the boat home. We'll try and fish it out. We could score here. We could get loads of free stuff. Was it that? That plant? Oh, a shadow. A shadowy motorbike. So I don't think the camera will pick it up at all, but we're starting to see the skyscrapers along the coast here, and there's like 4 or 5 huge tankers all in front of us. And I can see the water changes colour up here. It kind of goes from this lovely, delightful, murky brown to a much darker bluish greenish colour. So I'm deciding that that is the line of safety. That means we're past the river and nothing can possibly be on our way anymore. So we're nearly there, we nearly made it!
Thankfully, there was no cars or motorbikes on this occasion, but I don't doubt that has been the case because it so easily could have been this time around. Thankfully, there's not been any major storms or anything, so I think that's reduced how much is getting washed off the land. And then once we got through all of that, and of course the wind was right behind us and pushing us along nicely, we went through 2 kind of floating barrier reefs of vegetation, and then the wind died. In fact, now the wind is 4 knots. Not really enough to do anything worthwhile. So yeah, we're just gonna have to motor our way down the coast and hope that at some point it's gonna fill in. Otherwise, 12 hours. 12 hours of motoring and we'll get there sometime around midnight. On that note, Brownie's gonna take over now. I'm gonna go crash out for a few hours and see if I can get caught up on sleep. Because now the only challenge that remains is our arrival into Cartagena. So yeah, time to call it a night at 11 o'clock in the morning. And see how we go later on.
I feel like Ian tricked me into doing this part of the journey. We swapped over and he was like, oh, you're going to have such an easy shift. We're just motoring, there's no wind, there's basically nothing to look out for. It's just kind of, you know, cruising down the coast, it'll be fine. And I was like, oh, great, I'm really looking forward to reading my book and, you know, doing some other stuff. And then I looked up and I saw this massive tree trunk just floating by. And then I saw another one. And then there's these lumps of still more vegetation, but these huge kind of raft-sized pieces of it. So yeah, I'm actually just slaloming my way through it still. We're like 20 nautical miles past the river and there's still stuff out here. It's crazy. And then also we can tell that we're close to land, to a brand new continent, because suddenly the boat is full of these little flying insects, all stuff that I've never seen before. So I had a dragonfly came and land on my shoulder, and then a butterfly came and was doing circles around my face. And then everywhere I look, there's like another little creepy crawly thing, a little ladybug like on the sea, and stuff on our instrument covers. Yeah, it's everywhere, but I don't feel like this is the easy journey I was promised. I feel like I'm now just, instead of cruising down the coast, I'm like, I don't know, running the gauntlet through the rainforest. What a way to arrive!
It surprised us both just how easy this passage had been, but now that the wind had dried up, we were left motoring for a couple of hours.
Of course, then we just had to prepare ourselves for the last hurdle of this passage, working our way through a narrow opening in a pirate defense system built back in the 1700s. Just your standard sail, really.
There is like a tiny sniff of wind coming from just about the right direction. So we have rather optimistically put the main sail up as well. We're still motoring, but I'm hoping that as we get around this final corner, we'll just have the angle just right. The wind is just going to fill in nicely, and we can sail last year out of Cartagena. And then we should arrive just before midnight tonight. So it'll be interesting to do that in the dark, but yeah, it's an easy journey, right? All right, the last hurdle in our journey now. We are right outside the city of Cartagena, and oh my goodness, it is huge. It's a real actual city. There's skyscrapers and lights and planes landing and tower blocks and cars driving on the road, and it's so surreal having not been anywhere this big and this populated and this urban in years. So we can see the lights for the channel. We're going to go directly between, hopefully, this kind of submerged wall that is supposed to detect pirates. And fingers crossed, we're going to fit. A couple of people have advised us not to do it at night, but you know, hey, it's us, so of course we're going to try it. Here we go. The northern entrance to the bay at Boca Grande is like threading a very small needle. In 1640, a shifting sandbar caused some Portuguese ships to run aground here, and eventually an underwater barrier wall was built to stop ships entering at this part of the city and force them closer to the fort that guarded the southern entrance to the bay. Luckily, we found a narrow opening where we could sneak through.
So we've almost recovered from our passage. We're still trying to get used to the idea that we've anchored in a city, which is kind of surreal for us. There's literally skyscrapers all around us here. But what we have discovered is this anchorage is probably one of the rolliest we've ever been in. There's a big marina just behind us here, and all of the day boats and the fishing boats and the fun rides are all leaving from here and from a marina just a bit further up, and they don't mind making a wake. So, having been woken up at about 7 this morning, we've decided it's time to go and explore. So yeah, I think we're going to head to shore. Let's see what this place has to offer.
Away from our little island of Manga and into the sort of the city proper, and already like the whole city is just a different shape, because back there it was all crowded with these huge like skyscrapers, and now we've got like old city walls, and there's no building higher than like 2 stories
and a million cars.
The traffic is so loud. I feel like a proper little country bumpkin because I'm not used to the big crowds, and I think I'm going to freak out when I see more than 5 people standing close to me.
Look at that.
Oh wow.
Colombian,
yeah, we have to go check that out later.
Colombian pyramids or something. What is this?
Is that the fort?
I think it's Tesco. It's just Walmart.
My goodness, that was like a gauntlet. I was just kind of saying, oh, it's weird. Like, it doesn't feel like we're really in Old Town yet, but the buildings, you know, we've gone through the wall and through the gate, so this must be it. But it's not as busy as I was expecting. And then we got to another gate, and as soon as we passed through it, it was just like an absolute mob. We were accosted every 3 steps by somebody saying, would you like to take a photo of me? And I'll charge you however much for the privilege. And then people being like, would you like to come and buy some emeralds just while you're here on your cruise ship? And yeah, just like a barrage of people on, I think there's 4 cruise ships in the city today, and all of the tourist touts are out. So yeah, we just got absolutely mobbed. That's really not the view I was expecting. I was like, where's the city gone?
This is the walls of the city.
Yeah, but like, where's the proper city? Like the skyscrapers and everything. I thought they were just right here. I'm so confused. It's all a mirage.
Directions according to Brownie.
I'm so lost.
So we've basically just come to the very end of the landmass. Let's just call it that. The city's actually back that way. But she'll work it out.
Found it.
Oh, wow.
My skyscrapers.
What a surprise.
Someone's definitely moved them though. They should be over here. I don't get it.
Homing instincts of a pigeon. A drunk, confused and lost pigeon.
Battered old doddery pigeon.
I would never call you battered old. Doddery, maybe.
It's so funny. We have been out of sight of the ocean for about 90 minutes. And just coming here and seeing it again, it's like, oh, okay, I can relax. Yeah, I'm home again. All is well, all is safe. City life is intense. I don't think I'm cut out for it. We were just like walking over this bridge, which is clearly the new addition to the walls. I don't think this has been here for however many hundreds of years. But it's really cool because you can like look out to the ocean, you can look straight ahead and you get the city, or down here and you get like this old street with all the kind of higgledy-piggledy buildings and everything. I just like the mishmash of everything.
So we just found out there's 11 kilometers of these walls. And I don't feel like it. I feel like lunch. So
it's so hot and I'm so hungry.
So I think we'll hunt down somewhere to eat and then we'll call it that.